Hey there, welcome to the last few weeks of the course. We are going to be going through our final unit, Unit 5, throughout the rest of the month of May. And then the 2 weeks in June you'll have to finish up your summative activity. So I'm just going to go to the checklist so you can see what this looks like. Basically, you're going to have a couple of tasks due a week. So we've encountered this before. Sometimes it's just one task on like Thursday or Friday, and sometimes it's two, a smaller task and a medium task. So let's just take a peek. You can see how it's going to work from here. So on May 11th, you have something due, and then you can see the course summative that are due right here. So actually I need to add part 6 for that course summative. That's okay, won't take me long. So this week you've got your fashion retailers due on Wednesday, and then you have the course summative part 3 due on Friday because that's the larger of the two tasks. So let's just go to Unit 5, Activity 1. You have access to that right now, and this is all about the selling of fashion. So you're going to talk about fashion distribution and look at that throughout the content. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the difference between domestically manufactured garments, so that would mean like things that are made in Canada versus imported fashions. So I've taken some of the text out because it was quite big, and I created a Google Doc. You won't be able to write in it unless you make a copy. So you're going to go to File and then make a copy, and then you'll be able to type in it. I can type in it because I have ownership of it. So I want you to think back to when you visited a local retail establishment, or if you've got a shopping date planned and you can add this to your list of things to do, then you could do that as well. You can also look online if you need some help, and I want you to look at some imported items in addition to some domestically produced items. So you might look at a t-shirt and jeans that was made in Canada, and then a t-shirt and jeans from like Old Navy that was manufactured in like Vietnam. So after looking at certain points such as price point, styling, design, fabric quality, construction quality, fit, any of those things, you're going to try to decide which is better. Is the Canadian product better or the imported product better, and why? So I've given you a little graphic organizer to organize your thoughts, but this is going to be posted to the discussion board, and discussion rules apply. Post and then respond to 2 of your peers. So you can do this in person or online. One thing that might be challenging online is to talk about the construction quality and the fit, because if you're just looking at it, you might not be able to tell what the construction quality is. If you actually had the garment in your hand, you could like hold it and look inside and see the seams and feel the quality and all that good stuff. So it's up to you. If you are a visual learner, then you can probably do this online, but if you're more of a tactile learner, you might want to pop to Walmart or pop to Rideau Center and find clothes to actually see and touch. So that's the discussion for this week. And then the assignment is merchandise selection. So we've talked about what you're going to do with your store, and now we're going to talk about what you're going to carry. So you're going to tie in theory to this. So where does your merchandise fit in the fashion cycle? Will you only carry classics? Or are you going to talk like carry fad clothing? What's the deal with that? What would appeal to your customer? So this is where you're like linking to your consumer profile that you did for me. A lot of you have your feedback on that. You are also going to think about what labels you wish to carry and what their price points are. So you're a store, you're not a designer, so you're going to be carrying other brands and labels. So what do you want to carry? You can provide 5 examples of brands and labels. Please put visuals, and how much is this going to cost the consumer. Make sure that you are careful about including designer labels that are very expensive, such as Gucci or Prada, because these companies have to be prepared to give you their merchandise, whereas you can't generally find these things at many stores. That's kind of what makes them exclusive. So you could probably find Prada shoes at like Nordstrom, but if you were looking elsewhere in the city of Ottawa, you can't find them at just every store. So keep that in mind. Think of brands and labels that like might be realistic to carry, and if you want to go for a biggie, then talk about why Michael Kors, for example, would want their stuff in your store. So the last thing you're going to do, like I said, this is a bigger one, so that's why I made the first assignment a discussion, so it's a little bit less intense, is the merchandise depth. So what colors, what sizes, what fibers. Go back to the fiber dictionary or the fiber discussion board if you want some ideas as to what kind of things you're going to carry. What sizes, generally different stores carry different like lengths, like sizes. Some might be like 0 to 14, some might be like a 0 to a 10, some might be like only plus size, so maybe like a 10 to a 22. What sizing decisions are you going to make? And you can base that off of the customer base that you chose. And also, what are the colors that you're going to see in your collection? So all of this can be uploaded to the Dropbox. Some of the things for Unit 5 you're going to be uploading to a discussion board and getting feedback from your peers, but the stuff this week is going to be uploaded to the Dropbox so I can give you feedback on it, and then you'll be half done your summative, which is really exciting. So hopefully that all makes sense. Make sure you're keeping track with the checklist. It's going to be a marathon to the finish. We will be done Unit 5 by June 3rd, and then that will give you from June 3rd, which is right here, to the 17th to finish up your summative, make sure it's nice, and do the visual component that's required of you. So I hope that makes sense, and keep checking if you have any questions.